Illegal immigrants, illegal aliens have more rights in this country than you do, for the most part. Let's talk about this one. Out of the Daily Wire, 2 New York Police Department officers were beaten by illegal immigrants near Times Square last weekend, as video footage shows the policemen struggling on the ground with the perpetrators. The officers told the group of illegal aliens who were loitering in the street to move along around 8:30 on Saturday. Moments later, a fight broke out that saw the illegal aliens gang up on the 2 policemen. The New York Post reported this, and the video footage shared by the NYPD shows the officers attempting to arrest one of the illegal immigrants as others kick and punch the officers in the head. In all, 4 illegal immigrants were eventually apprehended and subsequently released without bail. Now, the video of them being released went absolutely viral. Absolutely viral. Let's take a look and a listen. This is on Fox News, them being released. And here, just pay attention to their tone and their overall demeanor when they're released from jail after assaulting. These are illegal immigrants who assaulted police officers, released from jail without bail. Take a look and a listen.
Just into Fox News now, NYPD making 2 more arrests, illegal immigrants, and that attack on officers. Those suspects also allegedly stole an officer's cell phone.
So look at that one real quick right there. So this one will cover his face so that nobody can see and identify him, but he'll still proceed to flick off the camera and flick everybody off in a country in which he is not a citizen, nor does he have a visa or a reason to be here, and has committed further crimes as well. Keep watching.
Those suspects also allegedly stole an officer's cell phone. Well, that'll help them track you down. So a 5th illegal immigrant accused of attacking 2 New York City police officers over the weekend showed no remorse or regret. He was seen, as you can see, giving his 2 middle fingers to the cameras moments after being released without bail. Florida Senator Marco Rubio wrote, "Message to America from one of the illegal immigrants who assaulted NYPD officers, walked free with no bail, and heads back to a shelter funded by taxpayers." So far, police have shared 4 mugshots of the now 7 people arrested in connection with the brutal beatings in Times Square.
Yeah. So Laura Ingraham says it right. And even Marco Rubio made a pretty darn good comment regarding it. No remorse. No remorse. These people that have already committed crimes simply by coming across our border illegally, and then also now committing assault against officers. That is how they act when they're released from jail with no bail. To an extent, though, as much as I'll be unhappy with these illegal immigrants, I blame the system. I don't blame them. We have a system that has enabled this level of entitlement when they don't have any entitlement to be released from jail, let alone even be here in general. We have a system that enables that across this country, but not necessarily in every single part of this country. No, one of the illegal aliens, which was released without bail, also has 2 other open cases for assault and robbery. He allegedly, quote, pushed, punched, and bit an employee at Nordstrom Rack after he was caught trying to steal a $130 item. And in another alleged robbery attempt at Macy's last month, Reverend, who's the illegal alien, is accused of punching a loss prevention officer. Seriously. So we're enabling this behavior. This man commits 2 other crimes, released, assaults an officer of the law, released. Like, what are we doing? Are we fishing in a protected area? Playing catch and release with these illegal immigrants? Oh, man. Slap him on the wrist. Don't do that again. Don't do that again. We have stupid people running a lot of our cities, but not all of them. But the truth is that New York City, Chicago, and similar areas, in those areas, you will have more rights and privileges as a non-citizen of this country than actual citizens do. What do I mean? A citizen who gets a DUI, which again, a crime, you should be punished for it, rightfully. If you get a DUI, you would not be released from jail without bail in Chicago, New York, pretty much anywhere. You would not be released without bail. But an illegal who assaults a cop, scot-free, out of there, after also committing 2 other crimes. We are giving non-citizens more rights than citizens. But notice how I clarified in there that where your rights are limited is dependent on where you are. That's because not all locations are equal. A CNN host was actually left stunned during a news segment this week after one of the network's law enforcement analysts explained to her why illegal aliens commit crimes in New York but not Florida. Everybody, let's take a look and listen at this clip, which was on CNN. Again, liberal CNN. And what he had to say, because this is genius, and it's true, and I'll explain that, but let's take a look and listen.
Back. You don't touch our police officers. You don't touch anybody. Thank you, everybody.
I mean, we're hearing a change when it comes to immigration in general from President Biden on down. To hear her talk about that, it is also directly related to the fact that these were police officers. Does that have any impact? Does that change anything?
Well, it's so complicated because, you're a New Yorker. You move through the city every day, as I do. We see these people, we touch these people. They're out looking for work. They're delivering our food. They're at the gas stations and the car wash. These are people who came in waves, 170,000 probably to New York City. But within that group, this hardworking, throngs of people in search of hope and a better life, there is this 1%er, criminal element that looks at a different opportunity here. These individuals, I went over their rap sheets yesterday. Multiple charges: grand larceny, robbery, attempted robbery, grand larceny. This particular crew operated on mopeds and scooters. They were doing organized retail theft. They were doing snatches on the street, iPhones, iPads, clothing, so on and so forth. One of them that they are still seeking has 10 charges on one day because he's part of a pattern that's been going on. And I'm looking at the dates that their arrest started, which is probably close to when they got here. They've only been here a couple of months. So what the detectives are telling me is they have crews here that operate in New York, do all their stealing, then go to Florida to spend the money and then come back. And I'm like, well, why don't they just stay and steal in Florida? And they said, because there you go to jail.
Oh.
Great point.
Oh. It's almost like places where you enforce criminal standards and criminal conduct. It's almost like criminals will be less likely to commit criminal acts there. Not to mention the fact that I guarantee you the economy down in Florida is better than that of New York. So the dollar you steal in New York will go a lot further down in Florida. Because when you enable crime and you put through policy that says you're not going to get punished, crime is going to happen. Crime is going to happen. And that's what happens at a very small scale. That's what's happening in the Illinois area. I'm from Naperville, Illinois. It's about 30 minutes south of Chicago. And here's what's happening right now is so Chicago is getting all these migrants from Texas that's getting shipped up here by Governor Abbott. Well, they get to Chicago and then they take the train from Chicago to all these suburbs around. And then they start committing crimes down here. But in Naperville and in DuPage County, we have a state's attorney, Bob Berlin, who does great work. He actually prosecutes them. They actually get prosecuted. So we get a few headlines here and there. Illegal immigrant commits crime, thrown in jail. But then you have stories in Chicago, similar to New York. Murderer, off scot-free. And this isn't even just illegal immigrants, just period. Murderer, robbery, scot-free. Out, no bail. Kim Scott, let this guy go. Didn't prosecute him. Bye-bye. Oh, man. Well, his life's just been so hard. His life's just been so hard. That's what they say. And so that is what's happening. No wonder they have no remorse. No wonder they come out and they flick everybody off. No wonder they continue to commit crimes. No wonder they have a rap sheet that's 10 crimes long plus. Because they're not getting punished. So if you don't have a conscience and you don't have a will to work and actually make something for yourself, and they're going to let you steal, why not? Why not? It's like a kid. It's like a child. If you have a young child who asks you for candy for dinner and you say no, but they know where the candy is and they go to have it, and then you just say, you shouldn't have done that. Boo. And you don't actually discipline the child whatsoever, take the candy away from anything, then they're just going to always think that they can have candy for dinner. Our country is terrible at parenting. That's essentially what it is. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. I see we got some comments going here.